It's been revealed that Prince Andrew hosted the late Jeffrey Epstein as well as Ghislaine Maxwell and Harvey Weinstein at the Royal Lodge, the publicly owned home where he effectively lives rent-free after he paid for its renovation. Today we dig into the escalating atmosphere. Inside Royal Lodge, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has issued a surprising new demand to his former wife Sarah Ferguson just as they prepare to leave the Windsor home they have shared for more than 20 years. Reports suggest Sarah is angry, humiliated, and increasingly isolated while Andrew retreats deeper into silence after losing his prince title and facing internal exile. But this story goes far deeper than a household in crisis. For the first time, insiders are lifting the veil on the truth behind Andrew and Sarah's strange relationship. Why did she stay all these years? What does she know? Why did Andrew keep her so close despite her scandals, debts, and chaos? And why are both of them suddenly dating now? Reports have alleged they are both ready to find love, with Andrew making comments about joining dating apps. Before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a story in this never-ending saga. According to new reports from Women's Day, Andrew has instructed staff inside Royal Lodge that he does not want Sarah Ferguson anywhere near him. This demand reportedly left Sarah furious and deeply hurt. She is described as lonely, angry, and confused about why Andrew is suddenly pushing her away after decades of closeness. This comes only weeks after King Charles formally removed Andrew's prince title, a humiliation that has left him withdrawn and increasingly sensitive to the world around him. Combined with the upcoming forced move out of Royal Lodge, insiders say Andrew has become colder, more abrupt, and far less tolerant of Sarah's presence. For Sarah, the rejection stings, not only because she relied on him emotionally, but because Royal Lodge was her home, her stability, and the last remaining symbol of the life she built around the monarchy. There are reports around how Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, of course, formerly known as Prince Andrew, is spending his final days at Royal Lodge, and he's said to be ranting to himself. Andrew is expected to move to a smaller property on the King's private Sandringham estate in the new year. This is being described as his internal exile, a life of quiet isolation. Far from Windsor and far from any public royal engagement, inside Royal Lodge, the atmosphere has deteriorated. Staff describe the pair living completely separate lives in different wings of the mansion. They only see each other sometimes during meals, and even then, the conversations are described as intense, emotional, and filled with fear about what comes next. Sarah is said to be panicking. She worries about her daughters, about her future living arrangements, and about her own financial stability. Andrew, meanwhile, remains focused on protecting himself as the consequences of his past finally catch up with him. His moods are fluctuating by the hour. Apparently, what's happening now? They're ranting claims. He's round there. He's had a meltdown at the manor, if you like. He's raging in the Royal Lodge. And it's probably the end of the party, former prince. Apparently what's happening? He's ranting to himself. In recent weeks, insiders say Sarah has become increasingly isolated inside the lodge. She is said to retreat to her wing of the house for most of the day, or visit the pub inside their estate. There are reports that she has begged staff to stay longer so that she does not feel alone. She is described as anxious, frightened, and uncertain about where she will go once the lodge is gone. For a woman who built her entire post-divorced life around the royal household, this is a frightening new reality, and it remains to be seen what her next move is. For decades, Andrew and Sarah were seen as the royal couple who never truly separated. They divorced in 1996, but they continued sharing the same home, the same routines, and at times the same public life. Their arrangement worked because it benefited both of them. Sarah provided warmth, familiarity, and companionship. Andrew provided stability, protection, and a roof over her head. Together, they created a bubble inside Royal Lodge that outsiders rarely understood. But the recent scandals, the Epstein fallout, the financial pressure, and now the loss of Andrew's prince title have shattered the fragile balance they maintained for so long. Their once united front has turned into distance, silence, and resentment. This raises the deeper question: what was their relationship really built on? Many people have wondered why Sarah stayed by Andrew's side for so many years. Their relationship was unconventional. It was questioned at every turn, and it survived more scandals than most public partnerships ever could. There are several reasons behind her loyalty. First, Sarah needed the protection the royal household provided. Royal Lodge was her safe harbor. It shielded her from financial collapse, media scrutiny, and the consequences of her own poor judgment. Second, she knows the truth about Andrew's private life. She was present during his days as a trade envoy. She knew the people he mixed with, the favors exchanged, the trips taken, and the lifestyle that raised questions. Keeping Andrew close also kept those secrets contained. She held power over him, which she may have been using to her advantage. Third, her own finances were tied to his. She suffered huge debts, questionable business ventures, and financial embarrassment. Andrew's presence provided stability she could not secure on her own. Fourth, she wanted to protect her daughters. Staying aligned with Andrew protected Beatrice and Eugenie's place inside the royal family. And finally, she stayed because she feared the consequences of leaving. Once outside the royal bubble, she would lose access, resources, and safety. Keeping close to Andrew kept her afloat. For Sarah, loyalty was not just emotional, it was strategic, calculated. If Sarah's loyalty is one mystery, Andrew's loyalty is an even bigger one. Why did he stay so close to a woman who brought years of embarrassment, scandals, debts, and unpredictable behavior for decades? The answer is layered. First, she holds his secrets. She knows the full picture of his private life. She knows what he did, who he met, how he behaved, and which people were connected to him. Keeping her inside Royal Lodge ensured she never spoke out. Second, they had a mutual protection pact. Exposing the other would expose themselves. Their silence protected them both. Third, Sarah was useful. She managed the household, provided emotional cushioning, and offered unwavering support even when everyone else distanced themselves from him. She made him feel understood and respected. Fourth, abandoning her would have looked cruel, especially during the height of the scandal. Keeping her close softened his image, and finally they depended on each other. Over time, their arrangement became less about romance and more about survival. Neither functioned well without the other. For years, royal watchers have speculated about the secrets both of them hold. Sarah's financial ties, her questionable friendships, her leaked emails calling Epstein her supreme friend, and her business deals have raised eyebrows. Andrew's scandals need no introduction. Together they built a world of private arrangements, silent agreements, odd loyalties, and unspoken understandings. Their relationship kept everything contained. Now, with Royal Lodge collapsing around them, that containment is under threat. One of the most surprising revelations in recent months is that both Andrew and Sarah are quietly exploring new romantic relationships. The timing is important. With Royal Lodge gone, the silent pact that bound them together is weakening. Their lives are being forced apart. Their dependence on each other is dissolving. Dating again allows each of them to create emotional distance, shift public attention, prepare for separate futures, rebuild their narratives before the truth catches up. Some insiders believe their dating lives may be a way to detach themselves before one of them finally breaks silence. Royal Lodge has become a symbol of everything falling apart. Staff feel uneasy. Friends avoid visiting. The house is filled with tension and unanswered questions. Andrew hides away. Sarah wanders the halls in panic. Their shared meals are filled with whispered conversations, long silences, and rising fear of what will happen when the keys are finally handed over. It is the end of an era, and they both know it. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this story. Thank you for watching.